Thank you for auditing the Always Positive new music review show hosted by a French professor who's basically giving as high of a recommendation as I can possibly give to the album Voila by Mr. Oizo and Phra. That's Oizo spelled O-I-Z-O. I'm just saying it right up front that if you like really well-made electronic dance music, really well-made hip-hop, and just a great MC who doesn't rap in English, but who raps great in Italian. Like, if any of that sounds interesting to you, give it a shot. It's 19 minutes long. It's got an instrumental on the backside, so it's a 38-minute long album, but you can just listen to the parts with the raps. It is totally enjoyable. I don't speak any Italian, but I love it. Now I'm going to get into a longer review. I just want to get that up front. This is Thunderground Thursday, where I try to feature things that are a little bit less known. I know Kanye just dropped new music. I still got to get to Oliver Tree. I have some big news coming up with something else that I've done. But it's important to me that we really focus on things that are not as well known. And especially when those things are not in English. As always, one of my secondary missions on this channel is to fight any kind of linguistic hegemony, English language hegemony. I'm going to apologize if you hear the sounds of my dog snoring. As you can tell, I'm in the sun right now. You see this sun right here? He's lying in the sun, and I'm not going to wake him up. But it actually works pretty well with Mr. Oizo, who likes kind of upsetting sounds, kind of bodily sounds, kind of aggravating sounds. I have sort of a long history with him. Back when I used to think his name was Mr. Oizo, when I was getting into electronic dance music, especially into Daft Punk, and as a French professor, and at the time as a French student, I wanted to find more French stuff to like. It couldn't all just be Daft Punk. There also had to be bands like Air. Air was fine, but they didn't give me that crunchy, awesome dancing party, Smarty party. You know what I mean by Smarty party? Like a party where everyone there is pretty smart, but they're also partying. That's what Daft Punk can do. They can make Smarty party music, and Mr. Oizo could sort of do that on this album, Analog Worms Attack. The final track, Flat Beat, is what he's most famous for. It was used in some commercial or something in Europe 20 years ago. But this is a very challenging album. It's all break beats, but it's super broken down, very aggravating. It's not a very easy listen. Fortunately, about 4 or 5 years ago, he released another album called All Wet. And that album is just front to back amazing. Just a great, well-produced, still some of that challenging stuff. A little bit of that challenging stuff, but it's not sort of intentionally aggravating. And it's one of my favorite electronic dance music albums of all time. And my favorite song on that album is a song called No Tony. In Rochester, New York, there's a pizza restaurant I've never been to. It's called Captain Tony's. And I drive by it fairly often. And every time I drive by it, I play the song No Tony because I love the song No Tony so much. It's this very catchy, very engaging, very well-produced rap song, and the rap is by some Italian guy named Phra. No English today, no Tony today. Super funny style. Basically in the genre that I consider to be Euro party rap, which I guess I'll just call Smarty party rap, because I just came up with that term right now. A little bit like the band TTC, if you've ever heard them. Just like rap, rap where it's very clearly it's not trying to be important. It's not trying to be the voice of the voiceless. It's using the lightness that can happen with just sort of spitting out a lot of rhymes, having your charisma front and center, and mixing it together with a very, very well-produced beat. So when this album, Voila, came out, and I saw that the entire thing, every song is like No Tony. Every song is by Phra and Mr. Oizo. Full 19 minutes, 40 with the instrumental version of Smarty Euro party rap. Within 2 songs, I instantly went online. I bought it thanks to my Patreons who give me money so I can buy music. I bought it instantly on vinyl. My wife loves it. And I'm gonna give you an example of a song. Now listen, I don't know. Maybe you got bad taste, which is possible. I don't think it's that possible because you're almost 5 minutes into this video and you're still watching me talk about something which you may not know. You listen to the song Serenata Barbecue And you tell me this isn't one of the best beats you've heard in a long time. It's a wonderful example of his idiosyncratic production. These high sounds, dun, dun, a kind of offbeat, staccato, staggered rhythm that's then matched and ridden upon and diverted from with Phra's rapping, his kind of slightly singy, slightly just straight spitting, always quite goofy. And I don't speak Italian. Well, that's not true. I know some words in Italian. What can I say? Dove mi fratello? Where's my brother? Troppa cipolle? Too many onions. And the most important sentence I know how to say, Io non ricordo il mio collo essendo così sporco. Which means, I do not remember my neck being so filthy. That's all I know how to say in Italian. But as anybody who loves opera knows, Italian is a great language for music. And it turns out it's a great language for hip-hop, at least this kind of light party hip-hop. Now, I'm sure they have their own hip-hop scene. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people who are the voiceless, who are given a voice by Italian rap. If you know about this, please tell me in the comments, like who are the sort of the real underground Italian rap scene, because the world is so big and there's only so much I can focus. But, just hearing his flow, and there's just enough words that I can pick up on. Like macchina, Caravaggio, the great Italian artist, the great black and white. If you're a fan of Pray for Paris, the album cover is a Caravaggio cover. Using words like macho, and he's just simpatico, empatico. He even cracks up while rapping at certain times, like cosi cosi. He sounds like his ability to ride on the beat and to the interaction between the beat maker and the rhymer is so good on this album. It's so solid. I just pray that you're able to get over the frustration of not being able to understand it. And by the way, you want to find out what he's saying? Good luck. It's not on you. It's not on the internet. I can't find the lyrics even in Italian. If I could see them in Italian, I know French, and I could kind of compare this and there. I can't find anything. It's just totally blank. It might as well be instrumental. But not, obviously, right? It's what the rest of the world experiences when they listen to music, where they don't really understand the words. They might understand words here and there. And what we can do is we can enjoy the language, we can enjoy the words as part of this tapestry and know that something's being said without understanding it. And unlike, sort of angry children who just get mad when they don't understand everything, we can be like wise children who watch something they don't understand but don't want anyone to know they're not big enough to get it. Like me when I was 7 and a friend of the family made me watch Paris, Texas. Yeah, I get this. I like this. Be like that. This song also features a great singing bit by Phra Quintale, who sings the chorus. This kind of nice descending line. And the whole thing is just so well constructed. It's just a couple minutes long. For each track, I also listened to the instrumental version so that I'd have an idea of what it sounded like without the rapping. And in this example, there's a certain ASMR quality to this beat, which really comes through the instrumental version, which we're also getting with Bobo down there as he sleeps. He stopped snoring. He always does that. Whenever I want to draw attention to him snoring, there he goes again. I'm not going to go through the rest of the album a little bit quickly. First track is called Foie Gras, which of course is referring to the delicious yet probably immoral food of goose liver. Great 70s style beat with this bongo. Just a fun party, just super head. You want to listen to an album and all the way through, every beat you hear it and you just go, damn, yes. Every single beat is like that. I love the chorus on here. Yeah, it's referring to French food. It's the only French reference I hear on the entire album. Cool kind of when I listened to it instrumentally, I was able to really appreciate the bongos. The whole thing has a 70s style beat with a fast bongo played, but at certain points the bongos are slowed down to emphasize the cadence of the rhyming, and it's so good. Sylvie is the next track. Kind of like a Daft Punk sounding, compressed synthesizers, upbeat and cool. It's more of a pop song. It appears to be sort of a sexual song. He quotes Lady Marmalade, Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Instrumentally, I was able to really hear the power of the bass line, which is just it's a superior bass line. Especially when electronic dance music uses bass well. and not just as a sort of standard kind of rumble. It's very impressive. So pay attention to that. Plus, in the instrumental version, for some reason, the word punani comes through, which makes me think this is a sexual song. I think this guy just raps about, like, sex and drinking. I think. It's that Smarty party thing I was talking to you about. Date 2 is the next song. Great, another 70 beat, all these kind of funny noises. He makes like monkey noises in the beginning. I remember listening to this with my son, and he was like, whoa, that's a good beat. Like, you know, like we were listening, and he was enjoying it, but he heard this, and just wow. Como está, some Spanish in here. Odio, another Spanish word. A lot of kind of mixing between Spanish and Italian. Just a crazy phaser effect in the background, which you just have to listen to. I mean, if you listen to these like crazy compressed sounds, this is the best one to listen to, the instrumental version. Just the junky beat and the hissy atmosphere. It's just so good. Un Attimo is the next song. Kind of starts with the drum roll. Interesting, like party rap, while at the same time talking about the Policia and Akab, you know. And he even quotes Old Dirty Bastard, "Ooh baby, I like it raw." And there is an element to this that reminds me of a cleaner European Old Dirty Bastard. Now that's weird, because Old Dirty Bastard is famous for being old and dirty. But if we could imagine, instead of a Staten Island African-American rapping in a very dirty way, a sort of European, cleaner version of that, that really is who Phra reminds me of quite a bit on this album. And listening to the instrumental version, there's like a way that the beat almost seems to invert itself. And like these washing and whirling and swirling sounds are over. Like all the beats are actually quite different. Like the next song, Hot in Her, which is a play on Hot in Here, the Nelly song produced by the Neptunes. It's like a weird detuned version. And it actually quotes directly that song, right? So we've got Old Dirty Bastard on one quote. Next one we have quotes from Nelly. And just really nice playing like this detuned version of it. It's like a funhouse version of Hot in Here. Borrachos starts off with the only English on the album, basically saying, "Oh, I'm so drunk, we're drinking so much." I believe I hear a reference to the Italian artist Masaccio. I don't know. Another one of my favorite artists, one of the earliest Renaissance artists. He did that chapel in 1430, basically seen as the very first real piece of work of the Renaissance. But he didn't get a Ninja Turtle named after him, so the world has forgotten Masaccio. You know what? I'm doing it. This guy right here, M, that stands for Masaccio. Okay? If you're a fan of this channel, okay, if you're a fan of anything I do, for the rest of your life, I want you to call this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Masaccio. Okay? Hey kids, I'm recording a video. Please stop fighting. It's spring break. The kids are all around. And here he starts off with ha 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 ha, quoting Notorious B.I.G. So there's this whole kind of nice connection between B.I.G., Nelly, and Old Dirty Bastard. One of these kids is not like the other. Really just plays a lot with words like chicka chicka chow, hola, meow. It's kind of like sloppy drunk Spanish, kind of stops and keeps going. And then the stylistic changes continue with the song Easy Jet, where he sings with like this auto-tune, these kind of breezy disco sounds with the disco guitar and strings, and just keeps on saying the word for potatoes, patata. Then Serenata Barbecue, and then we get to Hits Me, the final song with the soul sample. Almost sounds like an imitation of sort of early Kanye. This just something hits me over and over again. Sultry rap, like his style is a little bit sultry, kind of hissy ASMR sounds all the way throughout. And then we're done. That's it. 19 minutes. 19 minutes, played twice, once instrumental, once with it. You're just... Music, I don't think, gets that much better than this. It is super good, super high recommendation. Okay, I promised you'd see my sleeping pedo, so let's see how he's doing down here. How you doing, Bo? Huh? Do you like Mr. Oizo? Huh? Okay, so please subscribe, and if you smash a like bucket, then I will pet Bo one more time. Okay? So I'm gonna wait for you to smash the like bucket. Oh, there you go. Oh, another one. All right, Bo. They're going to keep smashing like buckets. All right. There's the camera.